I purposefully curated these 8 modules of Deeplead 2 just for you. In my 30 years of leadership across 65 countries, I can tell you that hardly have I met leaders, even at the highest level, who have had a consistent, intentional, curated, logical leadership development process. And so what we decided to do at PEBI Executive Leadership Education was to say, hey, if we put all of leadership together, let's say it's about the person of the leader. And so we started a course called the Green Level. Everything and all 8 modules about that have to do with the person of the leader. Then we said, let's look at the people that are led, the people that are influenced to form a team, as well as the people who are the end beneficiaries of leadership. And then finally, let's look at the purpose, P. So what we're going to do in Deeplead 2, because Deeplead 1 has to do with the person of the leader, the growth series. Deeplead 2, which we're doing this weekend, for 2 weekends in November, has to do with the people that are led, the blue series, the led. Now we're going to start with people before purpose. A lot of people think vision is the most important thing about leadership, but by the time you're done with that, and I know people come to that course ready to fight, to that module ready to fight. Oh no, vision. By the end of that module, you'll know that people come before purpose. And then we get into the power and principles behind teams. We'll look at emotional intelligence, the second part of it, which is about people. The first part of emotional intelligence is tackled at the green level, about the person of the leader, because the first part of emotional intelligence is about you, knowing how you feel, perceiving those emotions, and how to manage those. And the second part, which we handle now in this blue course or this Deeplead 2, has to do with being able to perceive others' emotions and then managing those relationships. By the time we're done with that, you're ready for how to discover, develop, and deploy a tip-top team. So these 4 will be handled on day 1 in person at West Legon at the Petty Camp's office, November 1st. November 8th, we'll continue the second part, which will comprise, we'll actually start with dealing with difficult discussions. It's the most popular standalone course in the whole of PEBI education, executive education, because Africans, Ghanaians in particular, are very conflict avoiding. So we talk about dealing with difficult discussions. There's no way you're going to be a great leader without learning that skill and having the right mindset about it. And then we get into influencing to the max. We get into leading versus managing. The two are not the same. Several times I've heard people confuse the two or even conflate the two. Leading and managing are not the same. We're going to do a deep dive into that to bring out what they mean, what they aim for, and to know how do you do the dance between leading and managing. And then finally, we'll look at global intelligence and intercultural leadership. You cannot lead in this present world without interacting with the nations of the world. You could even be in your own city and yet you'll be working globally online. And so we're going to have an important module on that. I've had the privilege of working with people from all over the world. I used to lead a Canadian organization, and I was the first Black person, to be president of that organization. I currently lead teams from every continent, and so I'll be sharing these things not just from textbooks, although I have advanced degrees in leadership, but really from experience, principles backed with real life stories, real experience. So November 1st, the first module, November 8th, we handle the second module. Be there, and your leadership will be transformed, and your team will move on to the next level. And then finally, the purpose for which you lead will be accomplished. See you at Deeplead 2. Take care.